You can actually be in a toxic relationship and still be so much in love with the person. And in some cases, you may not understand who you are dealing with until it is being revealed to you. One bad thing about a toxic relationship is that it can never get better until the person is recognized and the person is willing to change. But of course, you cannot get the person to get better if you don't, first of all, recognize that you are already in a toxic relationship. So, by knowing the signs of a toxic relationship, you will get to know what you're dealing with and how to manage it properly to stay safe and to still build a quality relationship, whether with the person or with someone else. Number one sign of a toxic relationship is when you are in a relationship with someone and you feel so less of yourself each time you engage the person. If you always experience constant criticism whenever you are with your partner, then that's a good sign that it could be a toxic relationship, because it's important to recognize how you feel whenever you are with a partner. Someone who loves you, of course, should make you feel uplifting, make you feel much alive, more blessed, and constantly feel important about yourself. You have to check if this person keeps pointing out errors. Like, there are some people that when you are in a relationship with them, they keep pointing out errors, mistakes, and they keep making you feel like you are just not their match, or you don't have what it takes to be like them. Like, some of them can do it jokingly, but they are always pointing out things that you're not getting. So they keep pointing at areas where you need improvement. That doesn't mean a friend or a lover or even a partner cannot point out errors. But when it's a constant practice, like whenever you engage with them, they keep pointing it out just to get at you, just to make you feel less of yourself, that's a good sign that you are not in the right relationship. So the second sign is lack of respect. Like, no matter how much you are in love with someone, understand the fact that you need some respect for your boundaries and for your values. Everyone has values, and equally some things that they have boundaries for. If your partner doesn't respect your values and your boundaries, that could be a good sign that you are in a toxic relationship. Your values are the things that you are sensitive with. A good example is your family relationship, family bond, your relationship with God, your belief, your religion. If the person truly loves and cares about you, of course, they would respect your boundaries and they will respect the things you value, because they know that when they tamper with these things, they're automatically hurting your feelings. And if they respect and love you, they wouldn't do such a thing. So understand that someone who can respect your values and someone who cannot also respect your boundaries is a toxic person to deal with. Another sign of a toxic relationship is when the person begins to isolate you from your families and your friends. Yes, this is because they want to have more power over you. They want to have much more influence over you, because somehow they believe that when you have families and friends, they will keep influencing you. So somehow they just want you to be disconnected from them, not directly. Just notice it when they begin to tell you bad things about these people, about your family, about your friends, and they begin to give it to you as an advice to stay away from them, or begin to point out all the weaknesses and bad things just to get you feel bad about your families and friends. Or when you wake up and begin to discover that you no longer have values for your friends and for your families, and these are the people that has made positive impact in your life, and of course you need them because you can't live your life alone. There are some certain people that you can't just excuse from your life because they are very important. The roles they played in your life, or they are still playing in your life, is just very important. So you have to understand that when toxic relationship is in your life, one of the signs is that it keeps kicking out good friends, good family friends, good relationships, and you can't afford to deal with that. So anything can be the reason of wanting your friends and family to go off, either personal issues with them, or simply because they just want to have all the power over you or all the influence over you. And of course, that is not what losing your friends and families for, or good relationships for. Another sign is the fear of being yourself. Like, when you are with your partner and you are not comfortable with being yourself, because you don't know what they are going to do, like, you're just afraid from your inside. You don't want to express who you are. You can't even express yourself. I don't mean doing stupid things like bad behaviors or bad characters or just misbehaving around. I'm talking about purpose, vision, destiny, dreams. Like, you know why you are existing. Like, you want to live out your life, your purpose, your talents, and you want to express yourself in these things, and you are not comfortable doing it around someone because you're in a relationship, then that relationship is not fair. Like, that relationship is not healthy. When a relationship is not healthy, that is when we say that the relationship is toxic, because it has the ability to take from you, it has the ability to hurt you, it has the ability to make you feel less of who you are. Of course, relationships should be in your life to impact you, to bless you, to add to you. Just like the Bible said that two heads are better than one. So when someone steps into your life, the person should be a blessing and not a curse. The person shouldn't complicate matters or complicate life more. That is why the idea of marriage is important, because God's original intention in marriage is that the second person, which is Eve, was coming to help Adam, and that makes a complete union. Like that makes a perfect relationship. So any relationship that is not blessing you but taking from you, that relationship is called a toxic relationship. So an unhealthy relationship is simply known as a toxic relationship. So if you are afraid of being yourself before this person or with this person, then that's a sign that this is a toxic relationship, because anyone who can't stand your dream, your purpose, your destiny, and your talent and your gifts, that person is not a healthy friend or a healthy partner. And you just have to do away with such person the best way you can, especially if the person is not willing to get better or change. The fifth sign is frequent arguments. If you notice that you keep having arguments with your partner, like frequently, like people have arguments, of course, it's normal, because we are human beings that has different perspectives, different ideologies, and the way we see things, and that gets us sometimes to the point of argument. So no matter how much you love someone, there would always come a time where you have misunderstanding. But when the argument becomes frequent, like you can't even hold on for so long, like you can't count how many times you've argued in a week, then that is an unhealthy relationship, and that relationship is toxic. You can't deal with that. So check the number of times you have arguments. Maybe within the week, if you keep having argument today and getting along tomorrow, having argument today, if it keeps going on and on and on, then you can't deal with that, because it's not helping you either. It's not going to help you to focus. You have so many things you should be focused about and think about in life. So nothing should come and take that space of taking your mind all out, stressing you out, your emotions, your mind, and getting you to that point where you are less productive, and you are not better as you should be. Discover the root cause of the argument. Sometimes it could be that you need to adjust in some certain area, but if you notice that the argument keeps on going without you getting better and the person getting better, then that is a toxic relationship, and you need to do something about it. So number 6 is jealousy. When you notice that you are with a partner who is always jealous of you, like jealous of your success, jealous of your gifts, jealous of your productivity, jealous of the things that you are doing, of course, how can you just stay with such a person? Because automatically it's an unhealthy relationship. Your partner should be someone who respects you, someone who is so happy for you, excited about you, because the person loves you. If someone loves you, they should love your progress. They should love the fact that you are doing well in life, and you are fruitful, productive, and successful as well. So when you notice that your partner is just being jealous over the things that are happening to you or with you or around you, then that's a sign of a toxic relationship, a good sign of a toxic friend. And you can't afford to deal with such person, because relationship is about bringing someone very close to you, and you can't risk having such a person with you that much, because jealousy can give birth to other forms of evil ideas, and things that are unhealthy thoughts or approach towards you. So the person can even set you up or do some crazy things to you just because they are jealous. You can't afford to deal with such person. So it's always good to take someone out when the person is always jealous of you. It's not good to have a close work or relationship with someone who is jealous of your success, your progress, your things that are happening around you, and you can't deal with that in relationship. It becomes automatically a toxic relationship. So number 7 is excessive control. When the person is always into your decisions, your choices, where you go, who you meet, how you go out, your decisions, everything about you, then that's a toxic relationship. Like, how can someone be thinking for you, reasoning for you, deciding for you, everything? That is what, of course, makes you an individual. You are an individual because you are blessed to think, you are blessed to decide, make decisions for yourself. You have the ability to, do your things like independently, some certain things, except if you want to involve the person. But if the person doesn't give you room to involve them at your choice or at your decision, then there's a problem. God has blessed you to think. God has given everybody the ability to reason, the ability to decide on what works for them and what doesn't work for them. So you are the one that would also decide who you give that will to. So in some certain situations, like in the place of leadership, in the place of marriage, There are some times you would need to give that will to maybe your spouse or your leader, in some certain things to decide for you or to help you with better ideas on the best approach to do something, or want to achieve something. So but when it gets out of hand, like you can no longer control who comes into your decision, like you can no longer control your partner over your decision, like they make all the decisions for you, they decide everything for you, then that's a toxic relationship, because it means you don't have a life anymore. The person is simply living your life because it's not your choice, it's not your decisions. Everything that is going on is no longer you. It's simply the person's life that you are living. And of course, that's so unhealthy. You can't do that for too long without breaking down. Trust me. You need to use your brain when you should. You need to know what goes for you and what doesn't go for you. Number 8 is when you are always unhappy. You cannot be in a relationship that is not comfortable with you. Like you can't even tell how long you can be happy. Like you keep fluctuating over your happiness, over your joy. Like you can't stay happy for a long time. That is not a healthy relationship. It's a toxic one, and you can't deal with that. Check how comfortable you are in the relationship. If the relationship keeps stealing your joy, your peace, your happiness, like you are not fine always. I mean always, like every week you are not fine. Days you are not fine, then that is a sign that you are dealing with the wrong person. Another sign that shows that you could be in a toxic relationship is when you are emotionally abused or you are experiencing physical abuse. Of course, you can't deal with that. Emotional abuse is when someone keeps, manipulating you, gaslighting you, or insulting you, and all that. That's emotional abuse, because these are things that don't leave your feelings. You keep feeling bad, feeling terrible, feeling so. Sometimes you cry a lot, like you always cry for this person. And the physical abuse is when the person is prone to beating you, hitting you, and all those stuff. It's not necessary. Like that's that's an abusive relationship. Like you can't deal with that. You can't deal with that. That is toxic. You cannot last being in such relationships. So finally, I will encourage you to know when to stay in a relationship and when to make the decision of leaving the relationship, especially if the person is not willing to get better. Some people are, of course, willing to get better when you recognize that the relationship is not working and begin to point out the things that needed to be adjusted. And of course, people get better when they want to and when they work hard for it. However, if you need to see a therapist, or you are finding it difficult to give up on the relationship, understand that if anything happens to you, if anything goes wrong with you, maybe your health or your life, they will still keep living their lives, and it's never going to change them from who they are. Understand that a good relationship is what's impacting your life. A good relationship is a relationship where you walk into to be a blessing to the person, and the person is working hard also to be a blessing to you. And when it's not like this, then you have to do something about it. Be bold enough to choose you. Choose yourself, choose you first, because God wants you to be in a healthy relationship, have a healthy life, and a successful life at that. So do not trade your happiness, your joy, and your peace just because you are in a relationship you don't understand. Understand that you choose what happens to you, and nobody should keep you in that place where you don't have any say. Thank you for watching. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up, drop a comment, and share the video. God bless you. My name is Sister